Welcome to Lesson 6, Calculations. We'll be using a grade average example to explore how Python can be used to do calculations. So let's get to it. So here we are in Replit, and just to review, we're going to create a program that asks the user for 3 grades, and we will display the average of the 3 grades. So let's do grade 1 is equal to input, enter grade 1 colon. And if you recall, the input command returns a string, which means we have to convert it into a number in order to actually do some mathematical operations with it. And we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to assume that all grades are integers, whole numbers. And now we got to do this same thing for the other 2 grades. So I'm just going to keep life simple. I'm going to do a little copy and paste. Now, one thing to be careful when you do copy and paste. Remember, it's a copy. So you have to adjust all parts that get associated with the new version of it. So in this case, we have to create a new variable, and we want to adjust the message. All right, so we got grade 1, enter grade 1. We converted it to an integer. Do the same thing for the other 2. We are now ready for our average. So let's do average equals grade 1 plus grade 2 plus grade 3, all divided by 3. And now let's print out a nice little message. And we'll use string interpolation, so we're going to put the F. And we'll say average is, put the curly bracket. Now let's go ahead and inject the variable, close off the quotations, and let's run it. Let's give it a try. So there we go. We got grade 1, and we'll keep it simple. So we'll say 100, 100, 100. Now, you might be saying, wait a minute, average of 233. How is that possible? You're right. The average of 3 grades that are all 100 should be 100. Take a second. Think about why that happened. Remember, computer is dumb. It only does what we tell it to do. So if there is a logical mistake as what we have, it's something wrong in what we did. So if you recall, the average is the sum of all the grades divided by 3. So if you look at our average, that's not what's happening. Remember, order of operations says we will divide first. So the only thing that gets divided by 3 is the last grade. So in order to fix this, we have to put the sum of the grades in parentheses. Now let's give it a try. All right, so let's do 100, 100, 100, and the average should be 100. Let's see. Cool. Never be happy with running the program once and getting the right result once. Let's run it again. So let's choose another easy example to test it on. So let's say the first grade is 100, next grade is 90, last grade is 80. So the average of these 3 grades should end up being 90. Let's see. And there it is. Okay. Again, let's run it one more time. But this time, let's not use easy numbers. Let's use something that might produce a weird average. So let's say you were super on the first grade, got 98. You didn't get a good night's sleep the second grade, so you got a 72. And then the last grade, you kind of picked it up again. Let's say 85. Again, without using a calculator, I'm not quite sure what this average should be. But let's see. 85. Right. Happens to be a whole number. Okay. So definitely, whenever you run your programs, run them a couple times just to make sure that you're not getting anything weird. And then just look at the results. Do a common sense check. I do want to show you one other way of handling this problem in case you choose to. We could have created another variable. We'll say grade sum is equal to grade 1 plus grade 2 plus grade 3. And then divided grade sum by 3. This accomplishes the same idea as the parentheses in that the computer will do the summation first, store it in a variable, and then you divide that variable by 3. For this example, I would definitely choose the parenthesis route, but in harder calculations, for instance, the quadratic formula, if you've learned it or when you learn it, that is definitely a formula you don't want to tackle all in one shot. It's easier to break up the formula into pieces and then create variables for those pieces. Yeah. Let me run this program with the modification just to prove to you that it does work. So we'll say 70, 75, and 80. Average should be 75, let's see. And there you go. So notice you're getting the same results. So there are different ways of calculating things. And that's what the activity for this lesson is going to show you, that there are different ways of calculating perimeter. And that's what you're going to get challenged with, to demonstrate the different ways of calculating perimeter. So let's go back to our cover. And so this was lesson 6, and we reviewed calculations using a grade average example and showing different ways that we could calculate that average. And also review the idea of order of operations. All right, good luck.